Hello, everyone, and welcome for the first, the last, or maybe even the second time.
This is the unreleased time. This is like time 1000 for you.
Well, this is a good start. He's already gone.
I can view this all day. As this appropriate thumbnail says, I can view this all day. In case George is gone, I'm just going to sort of speak loosely on his behalf. Yes, guys. So, you can read the title. We're doing Fantastic Four, but not the movie that you were expecting.
Connor needs to talk about it, and he won't be with me because I'll be looking after a baby.
Oh,
but in the meantime, I'm pretty sure I've probably just lost connection and no one can hear me. So this is fabulous.
You went away and then came back, George.
You interrupted my intro, you cheeky little prick. The most devious, God damn it!
Wow.
Oh, totally off the script. Yes, Fantastic Four, 1994. Not the movie you were expecting. Oh boy, not the movie I thought I'd ever see. But hey ho, this is our time to talk about it because there's no time truly like the present.
Yes, and apologies, George's connection, in a very appropriate manner, has decided to act like it is actually 1994.
Yeah. Oh, dear Lord.
I was already taken off to the cosmic rays to be shot in the face. Sorry about
that. And so was my intro that you rudely interrupted, but it's fine. I salvaged it, but you talked over me.
I couldn't hear. Literally, it went silent as I started talking, so I am sorry. But we're covering all the fantastic.
All the fantastic movies, yes. Yes.
Because I will be looking after an us.
Oh my word.
We are truly lost in the time stream.
This is a bigger shit show than the actual movie. Just saying
something. George is a Time Lord. He is an actual
Time
Lord.
Hello. Can you hear me? Start that again, George.
Michael, why are we doing this? Tell the audience before I die.
Well, audience, we are going to be looking at the 4 existing Fantastic Four movies. No, we didn't miscount. There are 4, even though only 3 were officially released. And we're doing this. We're banking episodes because George is going to be a father again. So he is going to be looking after new life and doing important things while we're just here watching unreleased pieces of trash. So in the meantime, yes, we are going to be starting with 1994's The Fantastic Four, a movie that was never intended to be seen and frankly probably shouldn't be, but we're here and we're going to do it anyway. Isn't that right, Connor?
Amen to that. Amen to that. For all the comic nerds, it should have been called The Frightful Four. But I don't know if whose fault it is. But I don't know. It's a frightful movie. I have no words for it, really. You have to force it out of me.
I mean, yeah. In the absence of George, I'll kind of take the lead on this one and give you a tiny bit of the backstory about this film. The reason that you may not have heard of it, as I said, is because it's one of those films that's famous that it was made by basically just to keep the rights. Before we go any further, though, I should probably introduce everybody because not being the host of this show, I'm not used to doing that. So, yes, this is Nerd Bible Podcast. Despite you hearing my voice, I do apologize. George White is somewhere in the ether with us.
Hello, and, can you hear me? Am I here?
He's back.
Oh my goodness.
He's found the other side of the rainbow.
I'm tasting the rainbow.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, well done, George. Thank you. Welcome back. I did try to cover for you. Do you want to introduce us now that you're back?
Yeah, I mean, you were doing such a lovely job. It was nice listening to you. Our amazing friend Michael Wilson has agreed to join us for these 4 forays into the realm of Fantastic Four films. Try saying that 10 times faster when you're pissed.
Yeah.
I have heard of this film before. Shocking, I know. But Michael, you said that we had to start with this one. What is of so much interest to this one for you?
As I said, kind of off air, I think I kind of view it as a bit like the videotape from Ring, the Japanese horror, in that I've had to see it, so now you all have to suffer equally. But yeah, I mean, it's a very weird situation, as I was kind of sort of hinting at before you kind of introduced us, George, in that it was made because the rights to the Fantastic Four were held by, I think, either a chap or a company called Bernd Eichinger, and they had to make a copy of the film or else lose the rights. So this was literally made with it to be what they call an ashcan copy, in that it was never intended to be seen by the public. It was made just to keep the rights. It was never going to get an official release. Several of the cast and crew behind the film claim that they weren't told that, but that's the kind of pervading story from the higher ups. And so the only reason we have it now is because because they'd kind of done previews and things. People had done dodgy pirated copies and it turned up in Comic Cons and stuff. And it is free to watch as of right now on YouTube. So you can go and watch it if you really want to. I'm not sure you'll want to after we finish talking about it, but I mean, it is certainly something. So, yeah.
It is certainly a film that happened.
Going off of your sort of backstory, though, Mike, just a general question on behalf of the audience, maybe, if you dare do a Google search. This movie I thought was referred to as Roger Corman's The Fantastic Four. Like, I thought Roger Corman was the guy behind it. Who's Roger Corman? And then you mentioned a Byrne guy. Like, is that just a pseudonym? Is that an alias, or are they two different entities completely? Or...
No, well, Roger Corman didn't direct this movie, but he did produce it. And if you're not familiar, Roger Corman is kind of a famous cult sort of movie maker. He made particularly sort of, I guess, exploitation movies, you would call them. There's an awful lot of like, women in bikinis fighting very lame special effect monsters type movies and stuff like that. So, yeah, he passed away not long ago, actually, but he was kind of famous / infamous amongst a certain kind of cult movie crowd. Kind of the trauma, I suppose, of his day. And yes, it was his kind of production company that are responsible for this. And so, yes, it is often referred to as Roger Corman's Fantastic Four, even though he didn't direct it. We can't really blame him for that one.
I see. Oh, okay, fine. Oh, all right. Not directly related to him, but it is quite to do with him in terms of production side of things.
Yeah, fine. Exactly. Yeah.
Imagine if this was. Imagine 10 years from now, we get a similar situation. Not that it's 1,000 times harder because of obviously data leakers, internet safety and privacy is no longer a thing in the modern world that we live in. But imagine, again, how this would ever happen. But Christopher Nolan unreleased Fantastic Four movie will turn up 30 years from now. Except it's fucking good, but no one could see it.
I mean, Christopher Nolan and Roger Corman are very different people, I suppose. It's
very, very different people.
Really that. It would be like finding out that there was a Michael Bay produced film made of, something that we didn't have the rights to or wanted to keep. Or, I'm trying to think of an example. And the thing is, Michael Bay's made these all. So I was like, imagine seeing a Michael Bay produced Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie. Oh, no, that exists. Oh, God.
Yeah, that did happen. Yeah. That did happen. Michael Bay, Doctor Who's the only thing on my mind, but for my fucking Michael Bay Doctor Who.
Is it weird that I was
like a big comic book film that hasn't been made, but I don't think there is because comic book films are so popular that it's kind of I don't know.
It'd be like discovering the James Cameron Spider-Man film.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
Yes, that's the more appropriate example. Yes. Except. In another world, we will never know and we can never venture into. I hope that movie would have been good. Leonardo DiCaprio, Spider-Man, James Cameron, big director at that time, didn't cover his life to blue CGI aliens. So I imagine that movie would have been okay. Unlike this one. Yeah.
Well, that was intended to be an actual movie. That was like a movie they had in production that they were intending to release. Whereas, like I said, this was literally... we just need the rights, so we've got to make something. I don't know, by the way, I should probably bring this up now. Have you guys, either of you guys, seen the most recent series of Arrested Development, the sitcom?
No, not the most recent.
Oh, that's a shame, because they literally have a storyline that is about this. They kind of riff on the idea that they're trying to keep the rights to make this film. So there's like a really low budget Fantastic Four movie, and Tobias Funke gets cast as the Thing, and he has this like really drunk, strung out actor friend girl who gets cast as Invisible Woman, and it is basically just a piss take about the making of this movie. And they talk about, we've got to do it to keep the rights, but we haven't got much money to do it, and it's just pretty hilarious that they kind of can riff on it several years later.
It might be actually worth a watch then. Might be worth a watch.
Yeah. I mean, it's not a great series, but that storyline I was kind of pleasantly surprised to see happening, and surprised that they got the kind of the rights off Marvel to use the kind of character likenesses and stuff. Because, like I said, there's something funny about seeing David Cross in a full-on Thing costume. So, yeah.
Well, fair enough.
Still better looking than the Thing costume in this movie, I have to say.
Whoa. I mean, not that we're going to talk about the character, because I mean, the Thing is even, what is he meant to be in the comics? He is literally just a thing. He is a rock monster in the pages of he is just a thing. But really, what is he actually in this movie? Again, it's just a bad costume. It's not CGI. What on earth is he in this movie?
It is a costume, I think. Yeah, I mean, the actual costume, when he transforms into the Thing, it is a costume. And I mean, it looks terrible to us, but at the time, I suppose, in a way, it wasn't that bad. I mean, it's not the worst thing in the film, but
no.
But yeah. The longer you look at it, the more it's quite apparent that you can see, like, the eye holes and the actor's eyes behind the mask and everything, and it's like, oh, bless. Just
what a thing that we actually had to look at. It was just like, for my backstory and context, I literally just whacked this on last night again. I found the free link and it was kind of like, okay, it won't take that long. And then it was just one of those movies where it just took an eternity mentally to actually finish. I had to fight my way through it.
It's like a 19-minute movie, but it feels like 4 hours when you're trying to sit through it. Yeah.
It really does. It really does. Doing it in one go was not a good idea.
Yeah, fair enough. I think that's the plus side of it being free on YouTube, is you can at least break it down into chunks and not have to watch it all in one. Although I did for this, I suffered through it in all in one go. Ugh.
Was this your, like, when did you discover this movie? Because I know that you normally do this in your Silver Screen podcast, Michael being the host of that podcast, and you sort of, in a way, sort of have memories or your first time watches and stuff. When did you discover this movie initially? It was before this, but yeah. When did you?
It was a long time ago. It was basically when I started getting really into comics and things, because there's, like I said, it's kind of become something of an urban legend. So once I started getting heavily into Marvel comics and hanging out with people that knew their comic books and stuff and going to conventions, like I said, there was this became infamous because, people were making pirate copies that they would give away at Comic Cons, or some people would sell them, and it was the only way you could see it. And like kind of similar to you, I'd kind of heard the buzz about, did you know there was a Roger Corman Fantastic Four? It was never officially released. I don't know if you can ever see it. And then, like I said, I kind of was always curious to see what it was like and try to see if I could get a copy at some of these cons and stuff. And then about 4 or 5 years ago, it was uploaded to YouTube, and I was like, let's give this a watch and see. I mean, it can't be that bad. Famous last words. So, yeah. Yeah. Anyway, so where was I going to say? So, George, are you still with us? Do you have any thoughts on the movie? You're the kind of leader of this pack, so to speak.
Well, I mean, I completely agree with Connor's thing of like it's the longest hour and 30-minute movie in the world. It was like the fucking time bar wasn't going down as I was watching it. I was like, a lot's happening, but nothing is really being said. I mean, it's not I think you might agree. It's probably not the worst Fantastic Four movie that's ever existed.
No. I mean, I have things I can praise about it that I've kind of said to you off air. The thing that kind of is a plus to this movie, but also kind of depressing about the other ones, is this is genuinely the best and most comic accurate version of Doctor Doom that we've had, and that we're probably ever likely to have, given the whole RDJ casting thing.
Yeah, that is quite sad, isn't it?
It is. It's to face that reality. That I don't want to admit that, but I guess so. I guess so.
Exactly. I mean, I'm not saying it's good, but at least they get the comic backstory correct. You know that he starts off as Reed Richards' friend. He's cocky when he does like a lab experiment thing, gets scarred because it goes wrong and blows up in his face literally. And then many years later, he kind of becomes this Doctor Doom figure that tries to take on the Fantastic Four. And they didn't feel the need to like shove him into the origin of the Fantastic Four like the 2005 movies. And don't even get me started. Whatever the fuck they do to Toby Kebbell in that, I don't know what that was.
It's the other movie. That's the thing. I know we'll like cover these movies in the next couple of weeks, and obviously, if people are watching this series retrospectively, sort of out of order. But at the time of this recording, I've not seen the 2015 since that cinema, and I don't remember this movie. But just a general question: is it bad? I don't know which is worse. Is it bad that a movie that's kind of got this backstory and notoriety behind it being this unreleased product, which again, by all means, feast your eyes on it if you really want to, or you go into a movie that's considered to be like bad or negative, but you don't remember watching it? Like, what to you guys is like worse? What's the consensus of that?
I'm too much of a nerd, so I enjoy this movie for the things that it gets right and kind of the comic book kitsch value. In the same way that you can kind of watch 1960s Batman and be like, well, okay, it's not the Batman I know from the comics and love, but you know, it's a bit of fun, and they get the kind of, they're not ashamed of the bright blue costumes and the comic booky elements, and there is things in it that are so bad. It's like kind of the Room situation. They're so bad you kind of have to laugh at them, like the idea that afford the full Human Torch effect. So when he becomes full-on Human Torch, it blatantly just turns into an actual cartoon, which I just think is absolutely hilarious. Like they try and just have him like, little flames appearing from his fingers, until at the very end it's like, let's do it, heroic moment, flame on, and it just becomes like something that's been animated by Filmation or something. It's like, what the fuck is this?
It looks like an old educational video.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. I mean, the very last shot of the film, the little wacky waving inflatable arm flailing tube man version of Reed Richards popping up at the top of the limo. It's just,
Jesus Christ,
it's comedy gold. Really.
I mean, it's a thing. It definitely happened, and I mean, a budget of 1 million and no gross and a basic write-off. What was we expecting, really, from especially as how many times have you watched this film, Mike?
Too many, at least 4.
4.
Ironically,
4, you say?
Written in the stars.
4
it's
times.
Weird how
isn't fantastic.
It's weird how a lot of like some of the beats in terms of like in the base and like the research stuff, it felt like maybe that was what Fant Forstick was going for. Sometimes in the tone of the scenes, because you're watching it and like, this is weirdly kind of, been done again. Like, I know that, whether they saw this and deliberately were like, we're going to sort of pay homage to the, the never released 90s film, like as a nice sort of, wink and a nudge. But I don't think Josh Trank or 20th Century Fox really gave that much of a shit. But, it's weird just kind of like watching. I was like, I've kind of seen a version of this from a slightly different universe. Which is,
I mean, it's
strange to me.
That's the thing. I think because it's such a familiar storyline, and like I said, no matter what, whatever problems you might have with this film, and there are a lot of them, at the very least, it's very authentic to the early kind of Stan Lee, Jack Kirby comics.
Yep.
And I mean, it gets that tone right, at least,
They feel straight from the comic page on there. Sorry, Connor.
They actually pick up. No, sorry, no. Well, I think we're basically saying the same thing, but like in different words. But yeah, they've got the family sense. They bicker. They're not exactly like the Reed and Sue thing, aging up, and the whole 10 years later aspect at the beginning kind of threw me off.
So dodgy. That was so dodgy. I've written down in my notes just Reed Richards just grooming that poor girl. It's just no.
Yeah, very weird. Is that truly part of the early comics? No, I'm gradually reading them. Well, I know that's not. I know she's the invisible girl, but she ain't literally underneath 10 years old. Like she isn't a tiny girl.
It's just a movie that they have him meet her as a kid, though. I mean, they didn't need to do that, so it makes it so much worse. That Reed as an adult meets her when she's like 11 or 12, played by the same actress that plays Harmony in Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Fellow nerds, by the way. And then, 10 years later, as you said, 10 years later, he turns back up and they do the kind of soap opera, like, oh, wow, Sue, you've blossomed into a beautiful woman. I was like, no!
that is
God
true.
damn. It's frightful. It's the Frightful Four. It's truly frightful. It lives up to the name.
Oh, Mr. Fantastic on the register, I tell you.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
That was
Pretty
the
dodgy.
sequel.
On the
Just watch where you're putting those stretchy hands, Mr. Fantastic.
Hmm. You want to see what else I can stretch? Hmm?
There is one thing I wanted to bring up, if you'll forgive me, kind of, taking over, because it's one thing
No,
I've
you've
seen
seen
this
this
movie
the most.
four.
You're the expert, man. Sorry.
Yeah. I've seen it 4 times, and yet I still cannot possibly comprehend what fucking role the jeweler has and why he's in this movie. Like, what's he doing? What's he there for? Other than the fact that I suppose he's meant to be kind of a mole man riff or something, but it's just like
That's why
he comes out.
Is he the wrong man? That's right. Is he the wrong man?
Yeah, no, it's
Might as
officially
well be.
he's called the jeweler, and he's not anybody from the comics or whatever. And I'm like, I kind of understand that you need somebody to swap out the diamond and stuff like that, but you could have just had Dr. Doom and his henchmen doing this shit. You don't need the jeweler there. And then he has all of the cheesiest stuff about like, oh, the really pathetic plot that you wouldn't ever get in these awful movies about, I have captured this blind girl and I will make her my queen. And it's like, oh, what are we doing?
Why did he specifically want a blind girl as well?
Because
Why
she
did he
wouldn't care how ugly he was.
she wouldn't care how repulsive the man beneath the mask. Yeah, I kind of fits with his character, I suppose, but even so, it's still bizarre on paper. It's just weird.
It's just such a weird role, and the guy that plays him is like a renowned English thespian actor, and yet it's just like he's playing the freaking leprechaun from the horror movies or something.
Warwick Davis. Warwick Davis.
Oh God.
Joseph Colf, officially the worst Doctor Doom. Well,
So-
as I eat my words, is he the worst Doctor Doom?
no, he's the best. That's the problem.
He's the best. Is he?
He's terrible,
he?
and yet he's still the best we've had. He's still better than friggin' Mr. Nip Tuck and bloody whatever the guy from Toby Kebbell. And I mean, Robert Downey
McMahon,
Jr. hasn't
not-
got far to go, but
Not related to Vincent Kennedy McMahon, but yeah, he's Julian McMahon, I think. Yeah.
From
Yeah.
Nip
Related
Tuck
to
and
the
Charmed
former
and all
Prime
that.
Minister of Australia, wasn't he?
Was he?
Oh wow.
I think he was like that was his dad.
Wow.
At
We can
least
talk
not
about that
blatant.
next time. We can talk
Yeah,
about
exactly.
the weird Australian politics.
But
in the
George,
next
I want to hear
episode.
your thoughts on the jeweler. Did you think he was a really impressive original addition for this movie?
I feel like he was kind of some old man that had just kind of wandered onto the set, and they were like, "Fuck it, like the movie's not coming out, so just keep rolling." Like when they have extras in like Bond like crowd scenes that like walk past, and it's like, "No, just keep it going." They were like, "Oh, but fuck, he's actually speaking and he's integral to the plot." It won't matter. This
Yeah.
shit's not coming out.
I'd
I
love to
mean-
know who knew and who didn't know, because like the main Fantastic Four are, to their credit, they're trying. It seems like
Yes.
they're acting, and they've said in interviews we weren't told it wasn't going to come out. We were trying our best, but then you get people like you said, like the jeweler, where I'm like, this guy can't possibly have thought this was ever going to be seen. Surely.
Yeah, surely not. Who would you say is your favorite out of the four?
Oh, I don't know. Connor, I have to hear your thoughts on this first before I give an answer.
I mean, the only person that Johnny, it have to be plain old Johnny. There's not saying much though, but I'd say Johnny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just
Um,
maybe the Thing, but even then, just some of the overacting is pretty dire. And like I said, the costume, they try their best.
yeah, I don't know, yeah. Yeah,
I
it's
really
definitely
liked,
not.
I really liked Ben Grimm. I think that was a.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. He was okay
Yeah.
as Ben, but then when he becomes the Thing, which is why they probably turn him back, which all the movies seem to do as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah, it's the excuse of how it's the thing of like actually having the actor's face, which I'm I'm semi hoping that we're going to avoid at least
In the
for a
new one.
while with why Eben Moss back?
Evan Moss Baccarat, yeah.
Yeah, first
I'm
step.
I'm hoping
yeah.
I'm hoping we avoid that for at least the Fantastic Four and Avengers films, and then maybe do it in a Fantastic Four sequel if you have to, because
Although,
it kind of
I I have to point out though that the Thing and Ben Grimm in this movie are actually two different actors. Like it's not the same guy in the suit as the dude that plays Ben Grimm.
Yes, yes.
I don't know why.
Yeah, they are different. Yeah.
It's weird that they
Yeah.
oddly kind of match up though as a personality, as one entity and being. It kind of it work. It's a bit like harkening back to the Lou Ferrigno Hulk stuff.
Yeah, similar. Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess. I'm just all I can imagine, like all I can remember of the Thing is that instead of giving him a fight scene, it's so bad it's comical that they just spin the camera a few times and make like thunk, thunk
Yeah,
sounds,
that's
and then
the
the people are just unconscious.
that moment made me almost drop my phone because I literally went, "What the actual bleach?" Like I literally had to like rewind the YouTube. I was like,
Yeah.
"What's on earth? What's on earth?"
That is a sign of just a film that has no money and no intention. Like, this is our big fight scene. It's clobbering time. Spin the camera a few times, few stock sound effects. They're gone.
What on earth? What's on earth? Yeah,
was
that
terrible.
just blew my mind. Yeah, I don't know. I just don't know. What is this movie? Why is this a thing? Why is it a thing?
I told you to keep the rights. Do you guys have a favorite bad moment that was so comical? Because I've got one more I wanted to shout out as well.
I love the doctor doing the research on them when they've just got their powers. Like that is
Oh yeah,
some pantomime camp shit that I am all about.
yep, yeah. And the way that he
Take
gets more
your
and more
own
traumatized,
blood.
and at the end he's like, "Take your own blood." Oh, yeah. Yep. I've got to say, for me, it's definitely the fact that, like, Reed has this best friend in college called Victor Von Doom, and yet it's acted like a big reveal when he emerges from the shadows, and it's like, "Oh no, I got news for you. Doom is your old friend Victor." And then Dr. Doom going, a name from the past. Victor, you may call me Dr. Doom. And nobody's like, yeah, that's your freaking surname, dude. Not that complicated. Just so theatrical.
Just also any modern story, any story, any game adaptation with Doom bots, seeing henchmen with actual like AUG assault rifles instead of actual robots, that just threw me out as well because I thought I was watching like an action shooting movie. I was like, what?
Those two henchmen were also comedy gold, though. The fact that they can't act for shit, and all they're doing is doing a vague Eastern European accent and smoking like long cigars and things, and it's just
exactly.
they are
so
bad.
So not Doctor Doom. It's just what?
Oh yes, George. I feel like I've taken over. You've got to ask a few questions about this. You saw it as well.
I know, man. I love it because I mean, as a film that I've watched once. I'm kind of in awe. I'm kind of in
and
awe
only once.
that this
And
doesn't
don't
get
get-
more worldwide acclaim like The Room. Like, put it in there, and we can all shout,
Oh.
"Take your own blood!" Like together, we can chant it.
Look at it, see it. Does it amuse you?
And then we can all in unison a name from the past. What else can we do?
Just
we
wander
can-
around and chant, "A queen, a queen."
Yeah, a queen. Yeah, that's
We could get like glow sticks and we can throw them when the Human Torch is in that weird spin animation when he gets hit by the laser that just repeats.
yes. What on earth was that? What on earth was that?
The animation, yes.
What was that?
wow.
Even that bit in the research bit, flame on. Oh, I don't flame off, flame off. I guess we found the right words, Doc. What the fuck?
It's the delivery as well that makes it. It's the delivery.
I was going to say it's either that or for me, and they do this in all of the films, it's the naming of them. So it's the fact that they do it as like it's Sue and Johnny's guardian or mum or whoever it is. That's like, oh, look at you guys, the Fantastic Four. They're taking their picture. I'm like, oh, that's on a par with you're traveling alone. I'll call you Han Solo.
I'll call you Han No Friends.
Yeah. The only thing I didn't do
Loner.
last night was drink alcohol. I should have fucking got drunk watching it. I would have had so
Oh.
much fun. So
I have
much
done that
fun.
once. If you get drunk and you watch it with a friend and just play it like it's Mystery Science Theater and you just rip the piss out of it for an hour and a half, it does pass by quick. I'll give you that much.
There's got to be a drinking game for this film, surely.
It's clobbering time.
It's 3 times I counted. He says it 3 times.
Only 3 times, damn it. It felt like every other second I was looking up and it's clobbering time.
It's time to
Well, 'cause,
spin
yeah,
the camera and make some stock sound effects again.
Yeah, just the spinning camera and the Human Torch. Yeah, spinning. Why is that a theme of this movie? Spinning effects. Oh.
I've got so many notes of stuff that I was just in awe of as I actually stood and took notice. And the other one I've got is the kind of the jeweler's henchman guy when he's like
spins out of this film.
when the jeweler's henchman is told to watch her and he starts sniffing her, and then just I said watch, not smell. I'm like, who writes this shit? Who thought this was clever or funny or anything? And I was
ahead of its time, even.
There's like 4 credited writers on this bloody shit. Yeah, I feel
part
bad.
of me just wants to get pitchfork. Part of me wants to put pitchfork and riot because it's just that atrocious. But we're actually sitting here talking about it. I'm laughing at it, no longer with it. But I'm also like, why does it exist? Why does it exist? I know you keep saying why, but the early comic. I'm reading the early comics in preparation for First Steps, anyway. Yeah. But just this. This has kind of killed any bit of momentum I had. It's just kind of derailed everything.
I'm with George. At least it's still more fun than the 2015 version because at least you can laugh at it and look at.
I would say I agree with that because I genuinely don't remember that film. I don't remember that film. So yeah, and I remember it was dark and bleak and very like DC-y, yet it wasn't Marvel. So yeah. I imagine this is fun in hindsight and at least to laugh the fuck at. But yeah, there wasn't much funny in the 2015 Josh Trank movie. Yeah. I'll find that out in a couple of weeks, in a couple of videos time.
Yeah, I guess. So yeah, I have to ask again. Sorry to take over, but I'm going to ask: is there anything that you guys think that we haven't mentioned that it did well in this movie?
I like the credits when it ended.
You just love that wacky inflatable arm man at the end, didn't you?
You know me, I'm a sucker for an inflatable arm. But I think I think the music was quite good. I think.
Oh, I disagree. I thought it was terrible throughout.
It distracted me from the shit script.
It distracted you from the script. Yeah.
I like the basic premise. It feels like a movie of the time. Like, had this come out, I think it would have fit with those movies around it. Like, it's not too dissimilar from, your Batman-y stuff. And it kind of fits in a world where these films exist.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't feel so out of place that it's not like, say, if you release this and then like Quantumania, like it's not like those kind of like, it's not like a big step like that. It feels very much of the time, and I like, despite the fact that clearly they didn't want to put this anywhere. Like, had it come out, I think it would have done okay. It wouldn't have done great. It would have been like, hey, remember that shit Fantastic Four movie in the 90s? Like a lot of people would say probably about remember that shit Superman movie where he stops like the nuclear war?
That movie is like friggin' Citizen Kane compared to this one. Don't you dare!
Oh, definitely. No, I'm not saying that this even holds a candle to Nuclear Man, but it's not.
No, I mean, I see your point. I mean, you can put it alongside low budget 90s crap like Steel, for example. And it's like,
oh yes, this and Steel. That's a 2-pack I want.
No. Bear in mind, I've not seen Steel, and I don't know if I want to.
Oh no, we're gonna make you watch Steel.
Oh
yes. No, Feel the Steel. Why did I mention that?
Yeah, but no, I mean, I personally like the idea. This is just such a minor thing, but the idea that they sometimes do in the comics and occasionally in the movies where it's like the powers aren't accidental. They're based on the kind of the person that you are. So Reed, I tried to pull myself in several different directions. So I became elastic. And Sue, you're far too shy and retiring and don't push yourself. So you become invisible, but have these force fields if you lash out. And Johnny, you've always been a hothead. So you are naturally And
Oh,
Ben,
fire.
you're all rocks, so you become made out of rocks. And I'm like, all right, I can dig it.
Yeah, what is it? Yeah, the thing is basically focus on his unrelenting strength or whatever the word is. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
his strength. So it's yeah, that aspect at least I can, like you, I can sort of gel with that on paper. It isn't executed to perfection, which is my only gripe with it. But yeah, that idea again, if it was more a la modern and in better circumstances where people actually wanted to see, or the people involved were actually going to see this movie, then by all means, I think that would have been more tonally fit for the story. But that idea I didn't roll my eyes at and hate. I was like, okay, I can let that one slide as to how they figure out their powers.
Because that's kind of that's what they run with when they made The Incredibles, the Pixar movie, which I know, George, you've said many a time it's like the best Fantastic Four adaptation, even though it's not one. And they did the same thing. They, their powers are based on the kind of people they are. So yeah.
Yes. And it's one of the big ones that I think it's a bit like. I mean, I'd put it up there in terms of importance culturally with, maybe just below like your Batman, Superman, Spider-Man kind of thing. Like it is one of the more well-known stories in, comic book lore.
Yeah.
But I don't think somehow it's because of because of the film adaptations that reach a large audience that maybe that it's somewhat still quite underappreciated. It took for like we say, like Pixar to do the best knockoff it can of it. To be like, oh, a Fantastic Four movie can work on balance kind of thing. But I mean, I love the cheesiness of like 2005 and 7 films purely because that's what I grew up with. And Fantastic is shit. But like, there's not really, if you looked at this, would you say there's a film that completely goes, yes, this is what the Fantastic Four is on comic as is on screen, which you kind of at least have with every comic book character. There's a version where it's like, oh no, that's what they're about.
Yeah, I think it does. And I mean, there's things I hate in the script. Like I said, like the addition of the jeweler and the really cheesy thing that you get in all bad stuff of, oh, I'm going to make you my queen and not question that, I'm basically effectively sexually assaulting you, whatever. And shit like that I would get rid of. But the stuff around the actual Fantastic Four themselves and even Doom, for the most part, I think the script kind of gets right. So would you agree, or am I just being really hopelessly geeky?
No, I completely agree with what you're saying. I think that's kind of spot on, really.
I feel like the essence of the character there, it's just sorry, George. Yeah, Doom just gets so far ridiculous and so worse, entertainingly worse, but he's just so awkward in his delivery. I can't not take that fucker seriously. And yet, again, like every adaptation of the Fantastic Four, to the franchise's detriment, Doctor Doom is their big bad. And again, as we know by the other films, like Doctor Doom seems to be the only villain really adapted on screen thus far. But then you look at this and like again, essence is there, but oh boy, he's not my Doctor Doom at all. Like, no.
Well, he's not. I'm curious about that. Actually, I have a question regarding that because you said you've started reading the early, I presume, like Stan Lee and Jack Kirby Fantastic Four comics and stuff.
1960
Is this Doctor Doom really that different from that one? And I mean, I know it was of the time and it's the way Stan Lee writes and stuff anyway, but I'd say this is actually a fairly pitch perfect version of like 60s comics Doctor Doom because he is over the top and theatrical and stupid and ridiculous.
It's just basically every other villain. Like, I'm literally only like nearly 30 issues into the original Kirby run anyway, so I'm only in like 67, 68 as is. But like the backstory of Reed and Doom's like prior relationship, friendship is only sort of been hinted at. But yeah, I mean, all right, if you're just talking about villain in a magazine, bam, I'm going to defeat you, Fantastic Four. Yeah, okay, fine. But this movie, 30 years into the run of the comics, like bearing in mind, like the Fantastic Four were a big fucking important deal in all of the comics anyway, and I get that backstories and things were established. So really, regardless of this movie and its funny backstory aside, if it had been taken more seriously, I would have thought at least a lot more of the character's backstory and nuance and layers would have been incorporated into ideally this film as a production. But to answer your point, this is very much early second appearance Doctor Doom. There's no story here. I am evil and I will kill you. Like, that is very apt. But considering there was 30 years of history at this point of time of release, you would have thought more would have been there. But then I'm not saying like any of the other adaptations do that particularly any time better, because again, I'm sort of figuring it out from the original pages anyway, if that is the case. But I don't know. He's bare bones Doctor Doom at best, pantomime, but that is all the early villains at that Silver Age time of writing. There's no layers. It's just we're good, you're bad. Wah-ha-ha-ha.
I mean, it's the 1960s. Everything was, as I said, like bright and colourful and over the top. And Stan Lee can't write subtle. I mean, everything that he writes just sounds like somebody trying to write like Shakespearean dialogue that should be delivered like really boldly and over the top. And I am, it's kind of. I don't know if you guys are aware of the story of like how Stan Lee came up with the idea of Doctor Doom, but I just always found it hilarious because he said that he was thinking about like, what kind of criminal could possibly stand up against these great heroes and stuff. And he was like, it occurred to me that there are laws against jaywalking and laws against like assaulting people in the street and whatever, but there's no law against literally just coming up from another country and going, I'm going to take over your country and you can't do anything about it. I'm like, first of all, I'm not sure that's accurate, but secondly, dang.
I mean, but then that is a good chunk of his character initially. Is like, yes, I am from my land and I will conquer all. Yeah, I mean, but then that's also Fantastic Four related, but that's also like the Submariner's initial arc is I'm from under the sea, I'm going to hold the surface, and and like their initial partnership in the comics. Again, I quite like the Namor and Doom team up from from what I'm reading thus far, but I know that whole thing sort of goes sideways and they very much go their separate ways. And even Namor, like again, I'll shut up about Namor, but I didn't know he's dwindled so much between being a goodie and a baddie. Like I always thought he was a lantern ruler. I thought he was more just in love with Sue and that was it. But I didn't realize he had conflicted, he had conflicts of interest. I didn't know he was that sort of nuanced in that sense.
I mean, that's a different argument, but he's always been more of an anti-hero than straight out one way or the other. But I mean, to that point though, I think, and again, it's perhaps a bit early to talk about it until the next episode, but I didn't like that they gave that kind of Namor plot to Doctor Doom in the 2005 movie. So he was like Sue's fiance that was in love with her at the same time as Reed and everything, because that's not Doctor Doom, and at least this film doesn't do that. I mean, it does have the jeweler trying to steal a queen, but at least Doctor Doom, saying that, I mean, she would have been 10 years old when he was in the States, so it's probably best avoided. But Dodge. move on quick. Very dodgy stuff, but yeah. Sorry, George, I've took over again. Did you have any other questions for us?
No, it's fine, Matt. Honestly, I'm loving listening to this. Like, it's amazing to see your mind just alive. It's great.
I feel like I'm dying, man. This is comic book shit. I feel like I'm dying. I need alcohol to recover.
I feel like we had like a shared hallucination / is this
right? Yes.
Is this also the best the Fantastic Four movies are going to get until possibly July 25th?
No, don't. I have nostalgia for 2005. don't say that.
I quite like that 2005 movie, and I would like this 2007 one if it wasn't for one glaring issue that I'll get into at length when we talk about that movie.
The silver server wasn't silver enough.
Making him a woman? How dare you? This new movie will be terrible. You've gone woke.
Is it Nora and Rad's flashback abs? Look at my washboard chest as I tell you my backstory.
Yes, absolutely. Oh man, the Silver Surfer as a character is so cheesy he shouldn't work, a bit like these other guys. But no, I mean, I get your point, Connor. Doctor Doom had by the 90s become like a really cool, menacing, deep character, but I feel like the makers of this movie were like, we've read issues 1 to 5. We don't get it.
Yeah, exactly. That will do. Yeah, that will do.
In the same way that Raimi's Spider-Man movies are very much an adaptation of like the 60s run of Spider-Man. This is very much like an early Fantastic Four adaptation. So like, it's not like, despite the fact that it was never, planned to sort of be
taken
like,
seriously.
Like it actually has done a lot in terms of the tone that it's set up. Like
Yeah.
it's kind of like a feature length Adam West Batman episode.
Yeah.
In terms of like the
Well,
campiness it's
fine.
gone for, but it's of that
Yeah.
time, and I don't completely hate it. I mean, a lot of it was spent just going like, what the fuck is this? Like, I think had you kind of had another go over the script and sort of like maybe fine tune some of the dialogue, that maybe this could be an actual really enjoyable movie. And I'm glad that we've all watched it and that this kind of hidden gem of cinema exists in some way. And I hope we can campaign for the Fantastic Four, The Room style screenings for years to come. Tommy Wiseau as fucking Doctor Doom. There's your missed fucking cast.
Tommy Wiseau. Oh, no.
Oh, hi, Reed.
Oh, hi, Reed.
Oh,
That's a name from the past.
I did not.
I'm
hungry.
Well,
Nice.
mate.
But
Oh,
no, I
hi,
mean-
Victor. I didn't know it was you. And like, he's just got his hood on. Oh, what a
You want
nice
to call me
donkey.
Doctor Doom? I
Thanks
mean,
a lot,
the accent that Joseph Culp puts on in this movie is not that far from Tommy Wiseau's accent anyway. So,
Doctor Doom should have been. What would you guys, if you had to give it an arbitrary rating? Because that's what
Oh,
we
I've
do.
written
We
a full
can't-
conclusion and score for you. If I'm
Alright,
going to review a movie, I'm doing it properly.
because I've made no notes, and then we'll finish on you, Michael.
Yeah.
I enjoyed this film, but I don't think it was for the right reasons.
Yes.
I'm both glad and sad that I don't own this on a physical media copy, and I
You
feel
can't.
like maybe I've got a load of future short of fucking win the pub quiz question answers in my brain somewhere now because of this. I hope that everyone that worked on it got a nice payout in some way.
Oh, they didn't. But by the way, if you are curious to know about this, there is a fantastic documentary that you can buy or you can watch on Amazon Prime called Doomed: The Story of the Fantastic Four, and it it goes into the making of this and how they were very screwed over. All of the actors, like I said, are just like we weren't told this was never intended to be seen, and we were freaking trying our best. So
and I will
yeah.
watch this right now.
I think it's only an hour long or something, but it's fascinating considering you can't watch the movie. Like, but you can get a
but
making of the movie.
I get it's shorter than the actual movie. Does it feel like a 3-hour documentary, or is it actually fairly
No,
straightforward?
it's actually genuinely
digestible.
fascinating because it goes into the
Yeah.
backstory and it interviews. I mean, it was made not that long ago, so it interviews the actors like contemporary, so they are 20, 30 years old or whatever it is when they're being interviewed about this. And yeah, it's just fascinating to learn, how they were treated and what they were told, and it's, like I said, see how the film was made and why some of the decisions are what they are. But yeah.
Well, yeah.
What do we do the ratings out of, Connor? Is it 5 or 10?
I was going to say a 3, but it certainly isn't a 3 out of 5. That's for damn sure.
Yeah,
out of 10, I'd give it a 3.
All right, I'd say it's like a 2-star movie, but like
Wow,
maybe a
okay.
3 if you're pissed.
Maybe it'll go up if I'm pissed. Maybe it'll be a nice 4 if I'm merry watching.
That's
But
an
no, I don't
anniversary
know.
stretch goal. We can get pissed and watch this.
It's one of those that really does improve if you watch it with friends. I'll be honest. Watching it on your own. You kind of have to go with all the awkward pauses and the shit, and you can't laugh at it.
What have I done?
Yeah.
Connor, your conclusion, my friend.
Conclusion. Well, I feel like my journey with the FF franchise and comic book world is only just beginning. But I feel like I've temporarily crashed my car. I feel like all momentum is kind of stonewalled, and I feel like I'm going to be spending time at my mental mechanic getting over this monstrosity of a movie and thinking about all the damage that it's done and how I'm going to get over it, and let alone the cost, my sanity. I just don't know. Like, what have I actually done to myself? I don't know what this thing is. I need time to process this, let alone a week. Again, this time next week, I'll be fine. I'll be going back to 2005, to the future, and I'll be more normal and just as sober, hopefully. But I mean, it's truly a product of its time that eyes and audiences worldwide were never meant to be seen. But luckily, due to the good old bootleggers and the wonderful internet and conventions, this presence has lived on, but not in the eyes of the Beyonder or the way that these original people intended it to be. So, hooray, I guess, because at least it's gone against the filmmakers' original wishes, and obviously we wouldn't be here talking about it had they won this whole project. That, I mean, it lives on in our hearts, in our memory. Well, no, it lives on in my memories, but in my heart, I don't want it to be part of my essence. It's truly, I don't know. It's truly something else. I feel broken, and I need to watch something more Fantastic Four related, and I don't feel as bad inside. And I'm not blaming Mike for this. We were going to do it anyway, but my God, I wish I hadn't done it at the same time as well. Because normally, like in most of these reviews, I'm always like, yeah, cool, like backstory, praise, thank God it's out. But truly, I'm not praising, thank God I've seen this. I'm thinking, why, God, why have you punished thyself? Why is this a thing?
I want that tagline in the poster. Hooray, I guess.
I have to say, George has just sent me a Fantastic Four 94 drinking game. It does exist.
Go on, Mike. Hit the rules to the audience.
Shall we tell the audience?
Yeah, please. I want to know.
Play along at home.
So this is apparently this is a drinking game for all of them, but this is specifically the 94 version. So number one, anytime Doom is said, take a drink. Ooh, that's gonna wreck you. Number two, anytime the Fantastic Four use their powers, take a drink. Well, it's quite low budget, so you probably aren't as bad off with that one. Number three, for flirting, missed cues between Sue and Richard, and bickering annoyances between Ben and Johnny, take a drink. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of that in all of them. And yeah, whenever anybody says Mr. Fantastic, the Invisible Woman, the Human Torch, or the Thing, take a drink. And the Roger Corman special, every time the diamond is shown, take a drink. Yeah, that diamond is such a weird MacGuffin. Yeah.
I feel like the Corman special should be a finishing drink, but then you might die.
Yeah, but this diamond appears a lot, so you'd be on for a while, man.
But no, Michael, take us away with an educated ending.
Okay, so yeah, obviously this is the road to Fantastic Four, the first steps, and we're starting with the infamous quote-unquote unreleased Roger Corman produced Fantastic Four from 1994, a film that only exists because Fox needed to retain the rights. So is it fair to judge a movie never meant to be seen? Absolutely. Most of the cast and crew thought they were making a real movie, and this is what they gave us. To be depressingly fair, as I said, it still features the most comic accurate Doctor Doom we've ever had, and likely ever will, given the direction that Avengers Doomsday is heading. His origin, relationship to Reed, and general setup are better handled than in any of the later films. It's just a shame that he struts around like a pantomime villain, swooshing his cape and gesturing like he's auditioning for Les Mis. His dialogue is so muffled, Tom Hardy's Bane sounds like he's hosting friggin' Masterpiece Theatre by comparison. So, yeah, not great. On the kind of okay side, the script at least gets the origin accident right, connects the powers to personality traits, and makes an effort with Alicia Masters and her relationship to Ben Grimm. But Johnny Storm comes off like a brat in Time Out. Reed and Sue have all the chemistry of a pair of IKEA bookshelves. And then there's the jeweler, a superfluous, terribly acted mole man knockoff who somehow made it past a script meeting. The effects, mixed bag, is generous. Some of Reed's stretching is fine. The Thing suit works if you squint. And Sue's vanishing act is passable for the era. But then Johnny becomes a full cartoon. Reed stretches like a wacky waving inflatable arm flailing tube man. And the fight scenes consist of camera spins and stock punch sounds. Everything looks cheap. The sets, the costumes, the awkward blue lighting filter, the amateur blocking, it's all one long, low-budget fever dream. There is some accidental charm and Mystery Science Theater level fun to be had, mocking the dialogue and the delivery, but fantastic this is not. It's more like the faintly tragic Four. And I actually give it a 1.5 stars out of 5. So yes, I did rate it. Thoughts?
Brilliant.
Yeah, no,
I love that. You've spoken for all of us.
The head.
Yeah, that's actually a perfect conclusion.
And I thought we were all kind of speechless at this film, even though Michael watched it multiple times. But yeah, what did
I'll
you
watch any
guys
old
think?
shit, man.
Have you... Yeah, that's true. I mean, to be fair, when you said about this, I was like, yeah, fuck it, go on then. I'm a
No,
whore. I'll turn up for anything.
I was actually optimistic. Not that I'd known any of it, but I kind of thought, yeah, cool. It's just the nerdy, unreleased product of its time. Surely it can't be that bad. Oh, I just wish I had some shots beforehand. I just wish I was out of it before I glazed my eyes upon it.
I mean, it's no worse than
mate-
Captain America 1990. Put it that way.
Oh, like let's pretend to be sick
That'd
and keep
be
stealing
next.
the car.
I haven't seen them as well. Like but after this experience, do I want to watch them?
I did a
Weird
review of it
Italian
on the
red
Silver Screen
skull.
podcast, and it currently has 59 views. Nobody's interested.
Because it's not Chris Evans. Or young Chris Evans doesn't awkwardly get groomed by Captain America or female sidekick.
Jesus. Have the audience, have you at home seen this? And if please, someone try the drinking game, obviously under supervision, so that it doesn't go completely wrong. Maybe it's something that we can do in the future. Yeah, this has been nice to unearth this, gem, so to speak. Possibly, maybe
This
I don't
Colossus
know.
diamond of a movie.
This Colossus.
Oh,
Every
there
time,
we
no,
go.
should that not be a drinking rule? Every time Colossus is mentioned, because I was like, X-Men. Like, where's the X-Men? Colossus?
I would have paid for them to include Black Panther, like the animated show.
Oh, I love that animated show. The intro to that show is literally fantastic because, pun intended, it just gives you everything you need to know about those characters' origin in a song. I mean, it's glorious.
It is truly fucking amazing, and maybe we'll cover it because fuck knows when I'm back or when this is or who the fuck anyone is anymore. But Mr. Wilson, thank you very much for joining us on the first of a potential 5-part fucking journey.
Lord.
Where can the good people of the internet and beyond find you?
Oh, I'm always around. I do a couple of podcasts. There is Hit or Miss Q Trek, where we review various episodes of Doctor Who and Star Trek. That has its own YouTube channel and various social medias by just typing in, Hit or Miss Star Trek, Hit or Miss Doctor Who, Hit or Miss Q Trek, etc. I also do Silver Screen Podcast, which entails just Silver Screen regular, Silver Screen Cinema Classics that I do, and my co-host DK does Silver Screen Cult Classics. And that's just all under Silver Screen Podcast, wherever you find social media. And again, we have our own YouTube channel. And if you've liked my review of this movie, you can find an awful lot, well over 110, I think, that I've been on other film reviews on the Silver Screen Podcast channel, very similar to this, including please go and watch the Captain America 1991. It needs the help.
Hey, no shame in it. And DK will hopefully be joining us next week for the 2005.
I don't think he's going to be able to. I don't think he's going to be able to make it. He's not feeling too well, and he's having some personal issues. But I'll be here.
We'll have to get him on for maybe if you can coax him on for a first steps or you could really punish him by making him do Phantom 4 stick. But...
Lord, no. I don't hate anybody that much.
Yeah, wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. But we will see you next time for more. Oh, Connor, do the outro. Shit, sorry. I forgot. I'm so hot.
Don't be sorry. Don't be sorry. Send us your unreleased movies that you've got locked in your closets at home at nerdvitalcontact@gmail.com.
Please don't.
Whoa, hang on.
Make us
We're talking
watch
about
all of them.
Make us watch all of them. All right, let's rephrase that. Any fantastic movies, pun intended, that you guys have got locked up somewhere? No, just send shit over to nerdvitalcontact@gmail.com. Again, praise your high heavens, praise your stars. Make us watch something fantastic. Please don't. If Mike suggests any more movies in the future, I may do a double take and actually think about my decisions before partaking in any adventurous reviewers, any adventurous endeavors such as this marvelous escapade.
Thorough. George said you were reviewing all the Fantastic Four movies, and I said, well, then you better mean all, and that includes this.
So that's what I'm saying. The people that might have something else that we're not aware of. I mean, I doubt it, but who knows? I'm trying to expand concepts here.
I'm trying to expand. I'd love to hear from anybody that really likes this movie. There's got to be somebody out there who really loves it. Sorry, Joe.
Yeah,
That's all right.
let's share it to that one person that absolutely loves this movie.
Yeah, the cast
As
of
a plaque
Fantastic
and a
Four,
poster.
1994. Let's interview them.
Yes, send it to them directly. Send it to them directly. Share this video around. Again, spread the word about this movie and any unreleased projects that have similar scenarios to this, but ideally are better. Send your thoughts over to us at nerdbiblecontact@gmail.com. Again, like us on TikTok, Instagram. We're across all over the familiar social channels. A time that, 1994, luckily or unfortunately, wasn't covered and featured on, because again, if something like this came out in the social media age that we live in now, oh boy, this movie would get absolutely just absolutely slaughtered online. But alas, this movie escaped all of the toxicity. Yeah, take care, spike your hair, woo woo woo, you know it. I don't know why I've gone WWE all of a sudden. Like, comment, subscribe, share us anything better than this movie, and flame on out of here, I guess, and clobber something else.
Take your own blood.
I'm waving with a big inflatable hand as I get married out of nowhere. Woo.
Doom.
Good Lord.
I love that you've stopped
What have I done?
trusting Mike because of this movie. Like, you've lost all faith in him as a human.
I'm not
This-
trusting.
This isn't even the worst movie I've ever seen. I've seen far worse than this.
Oh yeah, this
Not
is
much,
like
but
not even
still.
scratching the surface.
Yeah. Oh,
Next
bless.
time,
I think we've
Tim
broken
tells
Connor.
the
Let's
story.
You have broken me.